Good afternoon around the world, or good morning maybe to some of you. Today I am having my dearest friend, an awesome woman, the queen of Feng Shui, Claire Boscq-Scott, who has quite a wise experience and wisdom, and not only that, she also went around the world with her business, which is all about Feng Shui. You might not know Claire about Feng Shui that much yet, because she has a vast background and a way lots of experience in her customer service work previously. However, this is something what Claire was passionate for many years. And that's why we have this monthly show for you, so you can learn from awesome Claire about Feng Shui. Today, it's about ornaments and accessories. And Claire, I'm so delighted to have you back today with our monthly show.
Hello, hi. Thanks for having me, and hello for everybody. You can see somebody from Dubai already who's joined us, which is exciting. We were just talking about Dubai, weren't we, Olga?
Absolutely. Absolutely. How exciting.
So yes, it is. There's so much that we can talk about, and I think it's quite cool to be able to, because you've got a bit of a passion for it as well. So it's really nice to see actually how this can actually be put into a real practical way. I think a lot of people look at Feng Shui and think, it's a bit woo. It's a bit, oh, am I going to have to be having no furniture at all, and a bit of OCD kind of things, which really isn't what it is. It really is about aligning that kind of energy with your own energy and the materials and the space, and aligning that, with your own flow kind of thing. So that, using what you've got around you and actually making it so it flows and it feels good when you're in your own space, you're in your own environment.
Very true, very true. And I think what also many people misunderstand about Feng Shui, they think it's all about personal space. They think it's about the flat. They think it's about the house. But actually, your office environment, the place where you work, your desk, that is still should be Feng Shui, because energy is in everything, like in everything, right? So even in the bathroom of your office, right? So you got to be mindful of how you use that energy, how you actually play with that, because it's like gravity. Whether you believe into gravity or not, it's there. You never dare to jump off the 12th floor, right? The same with the Feng Shui, right? You might choose not to believe it, but guess what? It's still there and it affects you. So you rather learn how to use that rather you abuse that. And that's why we are here today, to share with you the tips and hacks and everything that Claire knows about what we should do or shouldn't do when it comes to ornaments and accessories, whether it is in your home or it is in your office. So shall we go into that, Claire?
Yeah, let's do it. So I was thinking perhaps we could look at the bagua and actually talk about the 9 areas that we've got within the bagua, and talk about maybe some of the ornaments or some of the stuff you may want to look into. So one of the principles of Feng Shui is the bagua. So the bagua itself is ba gua, and it's 8 areas. And when you're looking at your life space, your life energy map, those are the 9 areas of your life. Well, it says 8 because, of course, you're in the middle of the 8th ones, and that's your 9th area, which is yourself, your own, your oneness kind of thing. So when you're looking at your space, whether it's your office or whether it's your home, we would have that bagua with the 9 areas, and we will place the bagua on top of that space, so we can have a look at those areas. So the first one I thought perhaps we can talk about, it's career and life path. Olga, I think one of the things that we all want is a healthy, passionate, purposeful, fulfilling career, right? And when you're not, and you're just confused, and you're just frustrated because you can't find your path, you just you got all those bad emotions because you're not on that path. So some of the things that you may want to look in that area, which is the first area right in the middle, in center of your home, is perhaps you may want to have some water. So when you go to a Chinese restaurant, there's always a fish tank, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, of course.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Put your fish tank here. This is one of the things that you can do, because career area, the water is all about prosperity. It's all about money. It's all about, bringing that really good water, that Shi, Feng Shui, is the two words. And so bringing some of the water element into your career to bring some good energy into it. So perhaps you may not want to have a full tank, a full fish tank in that area, but you may want to have perhaps a diffuser. So I've got my diffusers, which has water, and it kind of infuse, and I put little doTERRA essential oils in it. So it's beautiful. It just smells beautiful. It's water, it's bubbling, it's moving water, and it's beautiful. So those are kind of things that you could kind of be looking at in your career area. So some water, something black or something dark blue of that water element is a good thing that in that space. Does that make sense?
Totally, absolutely. Yes, because you're right. Whenever you walk in, you want to be met already and greeted by abundance, right?
Yes.
So it totally makes sense. Why to keep something broken in front of the entrance when actually you can just bring the abundance as soon as you enter, just like in those Chinese or even Thai restaurants, because I've noticed the same they do in Thai restaurants.
Yes, absolutely. And a couple of months ago, when we did the first element, we were talking about a bell outside your doors. Again, your door is,
Yes.
really important. So having a bell outside your door, so you can have like ling, ling, ling. You're kind of attracting. The noise is very powerful to attract prosperity through your door and through the mouth of the she,
Yeah.
and be able to kind of bring that energy into it. So those are kind of things that are great to in your career element.
Yeah.
If you move to the left, then of your front door, if the front door is right in the middle, but to the left, it's kind of your knowledge and self development. So there, I was talking to a client of mine the weekend, and she was like, "Oh, what can I do here? I'm writing a book. How can I get more inspired?" And looking at that space, she had nothing there. So we said, actually, if you have a bookcase, put a bookcase there with books and inspirations and things that you've read before that can really kind of, things that inspired you to actually start writing your book. So anything to do with wisdom and guidance, that's the area where you want to add that bookshelf. So you would want to add a Buddha or whatever you believe in, anybody who's going to support you in that knowledge and development, any teachers, those kind of things. And the color in there is it's blue, kind of royal blue. So again, you don't have to paint the whole side that color, but you could have maybe a painting, of that color, or and so just looking at that area, and what are the things that you need to be inspired to take you to the next level? What are the books? What, who supports you spiritually, and perhaps that you want to have in that area? Does that make sense?
Love that. Absolutely. Yes. What's the point to clutter your shelves with books which actually are not even for your personal development? I know that some people keep books of whatever fiction and whatever thrillers and stuff like which are quite negative or stories and whatever. It's like, why would you want to program your subconscious with that? Why not to put something what will be, as you said, up leveling you? So that's totally making sense. And I
Mm.
guess the same will apply in the office, right? So to put something maybe not some maybe awful reports like company books, or maybe to put some aspirational books, maybe to put some business magazines. Maybe one day your business will be on that magazine cover, right? So maybe to put something aspirational, rather your documents about the company, right? Report, which could be quite dull and well, at least I assume so. What do you think about these, Claire?
Yes, absolutely. Let's just, keep things that inspires you, and they're going to help you growth really, and then your
Yeah,
upskilling and your development. And we all want to have a fulfilling life. So getting to the
yeah,
next level, it's always something that you try to achieve, by learning something new. So discovering and, so using that area for that, it's really quite cool. So
yeah.
again, next one, we're going up one level, so kind of middle of the home on the left-hand side. This is our family and ancestors. So here it's the wood element. So you want green, you want things that are going to grow tall, you want things that are going to grow with big roots, because your roots are all your ancestors and all the values, the things that you've got deep inside. So you want things that really kind of going to help you. So for example, in that particular area of my home, I've got my family tree. My dad did a family tree quite a few years ago and sent me a copy of it. So I've got my family tree in that area. Just getting some support from, I know my nan is my little angel, and she's always looking after me. And, so those are the kind of, that area is the family, the day-to-day kind of things, family, but it's also your ancestors and people which are teaching you things in a spiritual level. So, but big tree, big green, big growing things, big columns going up, this is all about growth, and it's all about showing your strength and your expertise in what you do.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So you would say the same would apply to the office, right? So still bring those big trees rooted, because even though it's a family area, it doesn't have to be about the family in the business as in family pictures, right? It could be something like, as I said, a plant in the business premises, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about it, really, your business is also a reflection of your home. So when you're looking at, doing work with a business, you're looking at the business itself, or the organization, or the space, but there's also, it will also need to look at the home of the owners or the founder of the CEOs, because, if you need to align both of them together. One will mirror the other. So it's always good when you're doing work for business to kind of look at also the home side of who is the leader, who is kind of leading that company. So it's always something that just to keep in mind when you do kind of work on business and a whole large organization, if you see what I mean, rather than
Love that.
home office.
Love that.
Okay.
Love that.
So now is the exciting time. It's the money and prosperity
It
area.
is.
So when you're in your, at the front door and you're looking right at the top left-hand side, of your home or your office, this is your prosperity corner. So we talked about that, didn't we, when we were in your home? And
Yeah.
it's all about money, money, money. What does make you think about money? I had a client, and she had an office and a bedroom. So she, and the only thing that she could have in that corner was a flip chart. So I said to her, no, you don't need to remove the flip chart. All I want you to do is actually put something that reminds you of money when you're not actually using the flip chart. So she sent me a picture, Olga, and what she's done is she printed off $200, a $100 bill, put it all over the flip chart, pasted them all over. And in the middle, she put, I love money, money loves me, right? On the flip chart, nothing else she did. Well, that same night, she got a phone call from her father-in-law who donated some money to them. I mean, it blew my mind.
Wow. Wow.
It really did blew my mind. So anything that is money. So the color for there, it's kind of purple, but think purple like the queen wearing her crown, purple gown. It's green for the dollars, that colors of money. But also red is good color there to ignite. If you want a bit of money, you want to have a bit of that kind of fire into it, and things that you may want, anything that represent luck for you. So if you see a 4 leaves gloves, well, that may be lucky for you, but it may not be lucky for somebody who lives in India, right? So what does mean luck for you? Bring it in, bring your gold, bring a bit of money, some little money trees, anything that is going to make you feel rich and prosperous. One of the things that I've told you as well, Olga, is you could have a mirror, and on the mirror you could have a couple of £100 notes, so whatever country you are in, put them on top of the mirror, and you can put something just to hold the money in, but then the money doubles up, right? Because it's on top of a mirror. So you're doubling your money, right? It's just a very
Absolutely.
things just to bring a little bit more cash into your home.
It really is powerful, yes. And the thing is, it's if you can't do it on a larger scale, it could be on a smaller scale, isn't it? Because I'm sure some people are thinking right now, yeah, but in that corner or in that space, I don't have anything to put it on. So it can be just a small mirror. It could be a
Exactly.
coin under that. So it doesn't have to be something huge. Don't think right now it has to be like a massive space and you think, oh my God, I don't even have this space. Don't worry. You still can work because it's like with a phrase, with a compliment. It doesn't have to be a huge compliment. A small compliment is still a compliment. The same here. A small mirror with a coin is working the same way as a huge mirror and a pail of money. Of course, the more the better, it will double. But still, I think we should not worry about, how big the scale of what we're bringing under the mirror or the plant is. The most important thing is to have that element in there. That's what matters.
Absolutely, absolutely. And looking at each area and just making those little tiny adjustments will make a
Yeah,
big difference.
yeah.
So yeah. So if we move to the right then and we move to kind of far end of the house with, in the middle of your home or your office, this is the fame and reputation. Okay, so I want things that tall. I want things spiky. I want pyramids. I want things that grow. I want that kind of recognition. So if you got any pictures of pyramids, put them there. If you got any cactus, this is the only place I would say put your cactus in there. Nowhere else. Just, if you like cactus, this is the place to put your cactus in. Any burning desire for something, right? You may want an award or, for something. Well, put that award, print your face on top of the award and then put it in that area, really kind of play with it, that award and fame and reputation. What are you trophies and things that you want to win? In my kids' bedrooms, I've moved all their little trophies and medals and things like that in that area, because
Wow.
that's where you want to keep, that kind of fire and ignite, and again, we talk about fame and reputation. So not everybody wants to be a celebrity, right? But you still want to be recognized for the work that you're doing. You still want to be valued. You may want to have a pay rise. Those are the kind of things that you may add in that area. Having a candle, turn the candle on, put little intentions for the things that you want to kind of bring. And look at, again, that's the areas where you want to have. If you have pointy plants, put it in that area because it's full fiery, right? So we want that fire and that red element in here.
Love that, love it. And I think what's also important to remember here that, as you said, Claire, not everybody maybe wants to have that fame and to win X Factor, to be a celebrity. But
Right.
don't you want to have a career growth? It could be just the next step. It could be a new job opportunity. It could be maybe working with, with the teams, whatever. So you're growing in your career. It's still that fame. So yeah, let's just remember it's not only for those people who want to be celebrities. No, it's also for your growth.
Absolutely. And look at the pictures. Look at what it is that you've got in there. That representation of, what is in there already, and does it represent that, fame and reputation? Does it represent who you want to be at this moment in time?
Oh,
So,
love that.
cool, cool,
Love
cool.
that. So would you
Okay.
say in that case, Claire, not to keep old pictures of you? Would you suggest to put the best photo of you in that case?
Yeah, I mean, this is where actually I even want you to create a new photo of you.
Ooh,
Right?
love that. Love
Cut
that.
yourself off. I mean, I know I've done it several times myself, but I've copy and pasted myself on the O2 stage.
Mm,
And I've put that in my fame and reputation because speaking on the O2 stage would be pretty cool.
of course. Of course. Yeah, like a collage. I love that. Like a
Yeah,
vision
so
board of you. Yeah.
do that kind of things, do that kind of exercise. So when you're looking at it, you're like, oh yes, that's me. Very soon, it's
Absolutely.
coming. Uh,
Absolutely.
everything around you. So all your accessorize, all your ornaments, all your pictures, everything around you need to make you feel that energy, make you
Yeah.
feel good. And that's really, really important. I mean, we talked about decluttering in previous show, but really, if you don't love it, if you don't use it, if you don't need it, get rid of it. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's, for every areas, it's really important to kind of do it. You're looking at something and you're thinking, that's it. If you say, oh yes, I love it, that's perfect, you can keep
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And that takes us nicely to the love and relationship corner, right? So
Absolutely.
it was interesting when we looked at your office, Olga, wasn't it? You had nothing in that corner. I was like, Olga,
No,
no, you're not supposed to be getting married very soon.
I remember that. I remember, and I was thinking, you're right, but that corner was really, really empty. So I got myself a little round table, and I put a couple, as you suggested, a little statue there.
Mm,
And what else I put? I put the candle there. So yeah, it became a bit more cozier now. Now it is definitely a much better area. And the same in my bedroom,
mm.
because if you remember, we did my bedroom corner, and you said the same thing. There is a chair which is nice. There's a table which is okay, mirrored. Yeah, right. But why there was only one candle? I was like,
One candle.
yeah, that was one candle in my bedroom corner. Yeah, yeah,
There
that's
was only
true.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, so look at, it is the relationship corner, and if you're looking at and you're in the business relationship, so it's in business environment, this doesn't have to be love, but it's all your clients, all the partnership, all the collaboration that you're doing. This is an important part of that area where you want to have, a really uh, nice area, again, not cluttered. And if it's your love corner, it's two people, so look at it. Doesn't have to be love hearts everywhere, no. It doesn't have to be painted in pink, no. But anything that would represent two.
Yeah.
It could be two birds, two stones. That could be kind of that area will be quite good to do. And if it's the business side, well, you may want to have perhaps a little list of anybody that you'd like to meet, anybody of your clients. So, when I do my monthly goal setting, I use the bagua and I put my intention for each. So in that area, I always think about I'd like to work with one large organization in Dubai and do some work in Dubai, or so you kind of focusing on what's that part of the business and the relationship that you have with other people that you will do in that corner.
Very true, very true. And that is very, very life changing when actually you make changes in those areas, whether it is love corners we just discussed or whether it is other areas. What happens, you might not notice straight away, but things will start adjusting.
Mm,
That will start adjusting because again, it's the energy rebalancing. It's the way how you use the energy. So what's interesting, even though our relationship was always really, really great with my fiance, and since we met, we just had really good connection. But it's almost like was it the chicken or was the egg first? You never know, right? But I definitely noticed there's a massive difference in the way how much more we connect since
mm,
I made changes in those corners. And even though right now we travel a lot and we're literally like between hotels, we haven't been at home for the last, I think, 4 weeks. So our bagua and all these Feng Shui probably, are um, out of normal everyday balance, right?
mm.
However, because back home, we do have things in place, I do
Mm,
believe it still works. Because when you
absolutely.
travel in the hotels, it's quite hard to rearrange the entire hotel. For example, when you only stay there for 1 night or 2 nights, right? You can't really say, excuse me, we need more plants in this room. Right? This mirror needs to be there. We can't really do that, right? But as long as you have like certain place where things are aligned, it will
Mhm,
still work. So I just wanted to drop this for those people who are like ourselves, are traveling a lot, and for example, don't have this specific place where they can have
mhm.
that particular order, in each area of Bagua. Just wanted to give 2 cents about that.
Yeah, and again, so when you look at your objective and your goal settings and things like that, I know you probably do them as well. It is a good way to use the Bagua, because then you know exactly what you're trying to achieve in each of the areas of your life, and this is easy enough to take with you. It can be on your phone, it could be, and that kind of keeps you focus, it gives you clarity of what
Mm.
you're trying to achieve the next 4 or 5 weeks, or whatever you're doing your goals for. So it's a really good way to use the Bagua for that as well.
It really is interesting. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
So,
okay, so next one is
yes, absolutely.
creativity and children. So when you're looking at the front, it's the middle part, just after the love corner, between in the middle. And this is so that's this area is the metal element. So the metal element is kind of the main element for that. So anything metal, any ornaments that you have there which are metal, will be really good to add. Anything round, so I've got all my CDs and my DVDs in that space. Anything round, anything. And then I'd like you to think that anything. So it is creativity and children. So if you have a family, you may have a picture of your children and having fun, but it's also the babies or the beginning of something. So a friend of mine, my friend that I was talking about earlier, she's starting a book. So in that area, she's writing a book. She wanted inspiration. So I said to her, I'd like you to, can you visualize the front page of your book? So she drawn up the picture, and then I said, put the colors and write, your intention behind it. So, and then she's put that on the wall, and it just looks really cool, because then every time she walk past it, she's like, oh, this is my book, so straight away it's the
Yeah.
beginning of it, it's the start of
Yeah.
things. But if you're looking to start a little baby or a little family, this is the area as
Mm.
well. So you could be adding little baby shoes in that in that corner, just to help a little bit with some of the natural
Yeah.
ways to do babies as well.
Love that. Love that. So yeah, for those who don't want babies, for example, we don't even think about more babies. It could be a new project, a new idea, just like in your friend's case, it's a new book, but something new, because whatever new it is always a new life. It is a new beginning, right? So yeah, I love the idea. Love the idea.
New beginning, which is really cool. And so final area, which is really kind of the to the right hand side, of your home.
Yeah.
When you're looking at when you've got the front door, this is your travel and helpful people. Everybody needs
Mm.
helpful friends, right? We
Yes.
all need helpful friends, whether it's at work or whether it's at home. We are human. We are here to live in tribe and help each other, and that area as well is really positive for that kind of things.
Mm.
For you traveling, you've been traveling quite a lot, so not everybody has been traveling yet, and so in my area I'm still quite a lot of a few maps in there. I've got all my fridge is my kitchen, actually, that area. I've got magnet of all the countries that I visited on top of my fridge. I've got a little space where I've got a little helping hand. We all need a
I
helping
love that.
hand.
Yeah.
So I've got a little helping hand, little ornaments, like this. So
Yeah.
this is kind of very powerful to do, and have this area. So anything metal, anything white, anything silver, of course. This is that area where you can add some of those elements. Being a kitchen, it's quite fortunate. I've got, kettle is silver, toaster is silver, fridge is silver.
Good.
I've done quite well on that one, but you don't have to have your kitchen there. But just think about what other things. So you could have a map, you could have a travel book, you could have all those kind of things that you can use to
Yeah.
actually get you thinking and get you dreaming and get you where do you want to travel next, and who do you need help
Mm. I love that.
with?
I love that. That's very, very powerful. It's setting intention rather accepting what comes your way, setting intention where you would like to go and what type of people you would like to have in your life. And the truth is, I think the biggest challenge for people have usually when they put these intentions in different areas of their and aspects of their lives is allowing themselves to think big. Because they still think from their box, wherever they are, from the environment which they got used to, from the space of what they do for job right now and where they are right now in the world. But I always say, think bigger. Like, this is your dream world, and you can dream of anything, like anything you want, right? Why to stick to who you could meet or who you can meet? Why not to go bigger and think about, oh, maybe the guru whom you were following forever, maybe you would like to meet them, maybe you would like to be in their inner circle. So think bigger, allow yourself to think bigger.
And and you are in the middle. So the final part that we need to talk about is the center, because it's you.
Mm.
You are in the middle of your life, right? So once you're centered, and this is the earth element. So remember that earth element is the grounding. It's being able to kind of put your roots through the ground and really kind of feel that you're part. This is your life. It's your health as well. So what are the things that you want for your own health, and for keeping be wildly happy, wildly healthy, and wildly wealthy. This is what we all want, right? So this area, the color here is yellow, but it's about keeping clear as much as you can. I don't know if you remember, Olga, but when we did your home the first time, you had a couple of cabinets hanging around in the middle of your corridor, which
Oh,
is
yes.
really in the middle of your health and your center area,
Yeah.
right? And so, keeping that space nice and free, let the energy, the chi move around.
Mm.
We need that space to be very, very, very free. And we need that space to feel good, that yin and yang energy, that really kind of, it's you in the middle. How are you feeling at this moment in time?
Very true, very true, absolutely. But you should remember that again, everything around us will impact. Just like if you would walk by and back to that cupboard which was in my hallway, if I would kick my foot against that, that means energy also kicks itself every time when it flows by, right? So it's very easy to just think to yourself, okay, is this on the way? If it is, then just get rid of that. Very rarely you cannot get rid of something. You can always move it on the side or just get rid of that. That's it. I think
Yeah.
that's the bottom line,
Yeah.
right? But Claire, I have a question, because now we walk through all the aspects, all the areas of the bagwas. But what would be the big no-nos? Like, we know about the clutter. Like, there should
Yes.
be no clutter whatsoever. I think we repeat this relentlessly, and I think people will probably start hating us for that because we repeat it all the time. But actually, it's really crucially important not to have any clutter, because clutter, think about dirt. When you have clutter, then dirt accumulates. Then why do you want to keep dirt around you, right? But what other no-nos would you say about in general? For example, what comes to my mind straight away is pictures of dead people,
Right.
right? Often you see them in people's houses. And I have, for example, a picture of mom and dad as well. My dad passed away before I was born. So what do we do with pictures like that, for example, whether it is a business, let's say a dead business owner, or whether it is in a house, for example, a family member? What would you suggest about that?
So pictures again, depending on what they are and who they are. So if you have got family members, children in your bedroom, not necessarily. You don't really want your children to be watching what you're doing. Okay, but if you have family member and perhaps some who are past, maybe your family, your ancestors, and your family corner, which was middle left hand side, is the best area, because they are, that's your family area, and that's also the people, spiritual, that are still looking out for you. So if they are past, this is probably the best place to kind of put them in your home.
Mm.
If they're
Mm.
alive, it depends on what they do. Okay, if you need them perhaps to give you a bit of cash, you may want to add them to your prosperity corner.
How interesting.
If they are if they are your young family, your young children, and you probably will put them into your children area where you have fun and you have your family members, and remember or bring kind of things that you've done together. This could be a good area to put them. But another things that you need to watch out as well, Olga, we were talking about, you asking the anything broken,
Mm-hmm.
right? So again, keeping broken stuff, broken plates, broken cups, it's broke. Just it's broke. Just get rid of it. And that's a lot of the things. This chipped, or it's broke, or it's the glass is. And no, just keep yourself. It's if it's broke here, how is it broke inside? So we want to keep nice, clean things which aren't broken, and things that are not leaking. So having a leaking tap, in your prosperity corner isn't great. It's not great at all. So if you got leaking tap, bulbs which needs changing, do this kind of maintenance, because those are
Yeah.
the kind of things that make a big difference.
I agree with that totally. Even though I think it is in Japan, they do believe in fixing things, and what they do
Right.
whenever there's a cap or something broken, they usually glue it together. I think with a golden glue, like with
Yeah.
glitter,
Yeah.
and it looks beautiful. Yes, and if it's something which you want to do, then maybe do it rather keeping the item for one day to do it, right?
Right.
Because keeping the item for one day to do it not good. Okay, so if you want to get creative, go ahead and do it, but don't keep it broken for 3 years, because one day you might get creative. Okay, so either get rid of that right, or get creative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do one or the other. Yeah, I mean, they are absolutely beautiful, and it's all about there's kind of a metaphor behind the
Yeah.
technique. It's gone off my head. I'm trying to think about the practice of doing that, but it's a whole thing about rebuilding yourself, and
Yes.
nobody's broken. You can put yourself back together, and using some of the feng shui techniques will help kind of putting that glue back together, and finding that purpose, and being able to kind of moving forward and thinking positive, and this those are big stuff, that not everybody knows how to do it. But you think that they're all kind of working together as well. So we were looking at the bagua, um, Olga, and so each individual always work with each other. So you and I have been talking about going to Dubai. So anybody watching us,
Yes,
we're coming to Dubai. Yes.
we're gonna be there soon.
So we're doing an event in Dubai, which is going to be amazing. So in my little area, Dubai has a new project. So I've got that
Yes.
kind of going on here, but I've got also Dubai into my friends, helpful friends, because I want a lot of people to help us, getting the event to come and working together. But then also, I've got in fame and reputation, because I want, quite a lot of publicity and nice
Yeah.
people kind of sharing, the love about this event in Dubai, which will be amazing. So the same project can be put into different area to kind of really kind of bring things together, which it's what it's all about. So they
Mm,
all work with each other, all the
I love
areas
that.
supporting each other.
Yes, if only you allow them to work for you by using these principles and these rules of feng shui. That's what's important to remember, right? Just like going back to gravity, you don't dare to jump off the bridge because you know you're gonna crash, right? You're gonna just hit yourself against the water, and luckily you'll be lucky if you'll survive, right? The same with
Right.
the feng shui. Well, why would you abuse that? Why not to use that? Why not to play with that? And it sounds like there's a lot to remember. And I remember when I started my journey with Feng Shui, which was many, many years ago, for me, it was just like, that's something different. That's something I never came across. That's something, oh, and I remember the reason why I started this journey, because I was looking around the flat where we lived at the time, thinking, whoa, how many stuff we have. And that was clutter. And I remember I was never feeling amazing. I never felt like free or liberated because there was so much stuff around. So once I started learning about Feng Shui, my room was clutter free, because I was like, no, I want my space to be different. And that's the whole thing, that even if you're living, let's say, with your parents right now, or you're living with a partner disagree with that, it's okay. Create your own mini world and allow that your mini world to impact your world, right? Because again, way too many people are still living in a circumstance that they cannot make big changes. So it's okay. Don't make huge changes. Start with small changes. Everything what Claire was talking about, you can apply on your desk. So even if you will start applying these rules on your desk, you will see big shifts in your life, in your career, in your love life, and everything else as well. So start small and then go big.
Mm. Absolutely. And anything that you create outside will help you create inside, and vice versa. You
Yes.
know, your inner energy and outer energy works together. So, make them work for you. Make them work for you. Absolutely.
Totally, totally. Well, Claire, thank you so much. I don't want to abuse your time because I know you're a busy lady, especially now we're organizing this retreat, which is awesome. Going to be in Dubai, which is wonderful, wonderful opportunity for people, specifically for women, because it's for women in Dubai, right? Yeah,
Right.
so it'll be quite interesting to see people there and to tell them more about these science, and to tell them more about how they can transform their lives with the application of all these tips. However, in the meantime, if people would like to get in touch with you and work with you, how can they do that?
And so on social media here, you'll find me pretty much everywhere, really. Or my website, it's claireboscq.com. So, and you'll find information there about whether you're working from home, whether you're working in an organization, uh, you know, however, Be Shui is my method. And that's what really kind of the beauty of it. It's really to make you feel good in yourself so you can be good in others, around others, and then you can give great service, you can make more money, and it's that kind of thing. So but your home is a reflection of you, your business is a reflection of you. So being able to work with you and then aligning all that energy with you, it's the beauty of it. So thank you, Olga, for the opportunity to talk about Feng Shui. Oh well, we could talk about it all day, couldn't we?
We can, absolutely. With our passion for that, we definitely can. But you know what? We will leave it until next month. Don't forget, second Wednesday of the month is the time when we coming here live for you to teach you a little bit more about the energy and how that, the good application of energy, can impact your life. So watch out for this space and come back second week of the month, which is in September next month. So thank you, Claire, for being today here with me. It was a pleasure to learn from you, to hear from you, and everybody who is watching us today. Thank you so much for being here with us. Please make sure you share this video and do let us know where you were joining us today from, because we definitely would love to make sure this message goes around the world. Thank you so much, and see you all soon. Mwah. Take care.